So, a couple days ago, I talked about that I was going to do videos talking about how I'd like to see different Primarchs return. And technically, I did two videos on the matter. The first one I did was on Rogel Dorn, and then right after I did one on Lorgar. And I might go back to that one. Who knows? I feel like I've got a lot more to say on the possibility of Lorgar returning. But I figured let's talk about the other of the two traitor Primarchs that haven't come to back to the full circle yet. And it's kind of the one everyone else really wants to have return. It's the one everyone else really wants to see come back to the setting, and that is, of course, Perturabo. Now, Perturabo is not one of my favorite Primarchs in general. Not even like traitor or loyal or like Primarch in general. He's just kind of boring. I don't know, like he's got a cool demon Primarch design, but at the same time, I'm like, that just kind of defeats the purpose of the Iron Warriors and Perturabo in general of making him a demon Primarch. So that was my whole thing. I was just kind of like of the mindset of, this just kind of defeats the purpose on everything Perturabo stands for, and it's just so we can have a cool looking model, which we haven't gotten yet. But yeah, let's talk about, and I know like Perturabo is like a fan favorite for a lot of people. And that's totally fine. I got no problem with anyone who says like Perturabo is my favorite Primarch or favorite traitor Primarch, because I do see merit to it. Me personally, as a character, either when he was a loyalist or traitor, never liked him. But let's talk about the possibility of him coming back, which does seem like it could easily happen. Like there is a solid chance that Perturabo could be the next one even before Lorgar returns. Reason being is because there's a lot going on with one character in particular, and that character in particular I'm going to be talking about is Vashtor the Archifane. Now, Vashtor the Archifane has been sworn up and down by Games Workshop that he's going to be a major character going forward. Now, whether that's, rings true or not, that, that remains to be seen. But as it stands, Vashtor the Archifane is a demon prince who desires to be a chaos god. He desires to be the fifth chaos god. And of course, like in Warhammer Fantasy, there are now 5 chaos gods, with the Great Horned Rat ascending to chaos godhood through the acts of the recent Scaventide event going on in Age of Sigmar. So I would imagine Games Workshop would want to change that, would want to have that kind of balance in 40k. Obviously, I love fantasy, but I recognize that 40k is the more popular of the two. So it would stand to it would make a lot of sense to have, a bit of balance for both sides. So I still am of the belief that Vashtor the Archifane will become the 5th Chaos God in 40k. I strongly believe he will ascend to godhood very shortly. And the other reason of why I think Perturabo is the next traitor Primarch to return is because Vashtor is working closely with the Iron Warriors. He's been working also not only with Abaddon, but also the Iron Warriors, who have essentially, of course, like we know that the Iron Warriors don't care much for demons. Instead, they, rather than have demons enslave them, they just summon demons to make them possess their engines. And of course, Vashtor is, Vashtor is very much, the guy who's all about demon demon engines. Yeah, his realm is a giant forge that Vashtor is the best way to describe Vashtor is that he's a big weapon, he's an arms dealer for the Chaos Gods and the Chaos Legions, while at the same time he's got like his own like little agendas here and there for himself. So where am I going with this? Where does Perturabo fit into, Perturabo's return fit in with Vashtor the Archifane? Vashtor could easily bring, Vashtor's influence, because he does have a lot of influence over the Iron Warriors, could prompt Perturabo to return to be like, hey, knock it off. They're my sons. Like, it could easily be that, or Vashtor easily, like, brings Perturabo in to be like, hey, I brought your Primarch back, and is this cool? Like, now you're going to be... And that's the other thing. A lot of the traitors outside of the Night Lords and Alpha Legion and the Iron Warriors, those three don't have demons they serve. So if Vashtor ascends to godhood, that means more than likely means that the Iron Warriors would be his legion. They would be, and Perturabo would become Vashtor's demon Primarch, just like how Mortarion is Nurgle's, Fulgrim is Slaanesch's, Angron is Khorne's, and Magnus is Tzeentch. So it would it would make a lot of sense that if, with more of Vashtor, and if he ascends to godhood, the only thing that Games Workshop would do more is to give Vashtor, this newly ascended god, a Primarch. And again, Perturabo has a lot of those, Perturabo, again, it would be really hard to, sell the audience. I will say this, that it would be incredibly hard to sell the general, Games Workshop fans that he would willingly serve a demon. Granted, it is one that is working closely with the Iron Warriors, but at the same time, again, no one really liked the idea of Perturabo becoming a demon Primarch. No, that went against his entire character. It went wholly against his character. But at the same time, it would, if you want to show how much of a Billy badass, if and when Vashtor ascends to demon godhood, I do think it's more of a when than an if. But I thoroughly believe that it could easily happen, and then to give him the Iron Wars, because again, they're working really close to him, and again, Vashtor could even have Perturabo. He could easily have Perturabo already, stashed away somewhere in his vaults. That could be where Perturabo's been the whole time, is that after Perturabo fled, Vashtor's like, hello, yoink! So, could be that. And again, just because, the traitor Primarchs serve their demon gods, doesn't mean they like each other. Look at Angron and Khorne, or, Mortarion has a lot of things to say about Nurgle. Magnus and Tzeentch, it's Magnus and Tzeentch, and Fulgrim's just like, whatever, Slaanesh whatever Slaanesh wants, I'm good, I just want to fuck stuff. I just want to do butt stuff to people. That's just Fulgrim. But it would be cool to see, that disagreement is yeah, I brought, Vashtor could be yeah, I brought you Perturabo back, and Perturabo's back, and I should be thanking you, why? Oh, it's I brought you back, and now you're gonna be my demon, you're gonna be my Primarch. Because again, Vashtor really, really wants to stick it to the other gods, and what better way than to be see, I have my own traitor legion now. Yeah, it could easily be of that regard. Now, if Perturabo were to return, the big question is, this kind of goes back to, then you can have Rogel Dorn be the next Loyalist Primarch, because you can't really have Perturabo without Rogel, now can you? You really, in no way, shape, or form, can't have one without the other. So to have Rogel Dorn, it would make a lot of sense for Rogel, or either Rogel returns, then Perturabo would be next, or it could be Perturabo, then Rogel. The point being, you can't have one, you really can't have one without the other. That's kind of what I'm saying, is that their rivalry is too high, it's just too high of a rivalry. It's too close of a rivalry between the two sons of the Emperor, that you really can't have one without the other. That's what I really think it should be. Now, what would that mean if Perturabo, again, theoretically, if he did return, the Iron Warriors would go on a fucking warpath. They now inspired to have their Gene Father back. There are a lot of Iron Warriors who do not like Perturabo, but they would still serve and be yeah. Because again, the whole point of the Iron Warriors is that, yeah, we don't like chaos, but the reason we joined it was because fuck you, that's why. So I could easily see that be the case here too. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like, how should good old Peter Turbo return to this Warhammer setting? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.